It's been a long time, hasn't it? A bit too long if you ask me. This is Mega Man NG, and we have returned now with our Flash episode reviews. It's good to be back, and I already saw yesterday's episode. And let me tell you, I do have a lot to say about it, and I mean a lot. This week we're going to be reviewing Potential Energy. So I'm going to be explaining a summary of what the episode's about, not to mention what I liked and disliked about the plot, as well as some extra tidbits you want to know. So, let's get this show on the road. And be forewarned, however, there are spoilers. So if you don't want to be spoiled, watch the episode first, then watch my review, and then you tell me what you think. Because unfortunately, this week's episode, it did have some flaws, despite what many would say, for better or worse. Let's begin. Barry has been having nightmares regarding not only about Zoom, but his fears of losing everyone he knows. He seeks advice from his friends, his family, and he hopes to see if there's a chance to move forward with his relationship with Patty. Meanwhile, Joe and Iris tried their best spending time with Wally West, hoping they could bond and be together, and is met with mixed results. However, Team Flash learns of a metahuman who can slow down time and has used it to commit robberies all throughout Central City. But when this foe threatens the lives of someone that Barry cares about, will he be able to save her, or will he not have the time to make it possible? Okay, not much of a summary, but yeah, you pretty much get the idea. It's been like more than a month since we saw The Flash, and the mid-season finale Flash was alright, but not as much. However, this time around, I have to say this. Basically, there are some things that I didn't like about the episode, and I'm going to start focusing on that. And it happens throughout all three plots. Well, two of them, in fact, because the third one was kind of meh. Let's start with the first one, Barry and Patty's relationship. And to be fair, I did enjoy how their relationship continued to improve throughout the second season. However, the problem with this episode is that Barry just kind of went from being wise about it to being stupid. Yeah, I really am. I really mean that, because Barry was ready to make the next step in telling Patty who he really is. However, the problem is that he doesn't want to risk it because he's afraid that if Zoom found out, Zoom would go after her and Barry would have to go through even more suffering. It's bad enough he went through a lot of suffering last season with his mother's death and his determination to find the truth. But now this season, oh my God. I mean, seriously, I feel that their relationship just went from being okay and there really wasn't much drama, and then it went downhill fast. It really went downhill fast, and it didn't help in the episode that Patty was planning to move to Keystone City. And it tells me that their relationship was at an end. And I am sad. I am very sad that their relationship ended because I thought their relationship was okay. I thought it was nice. I thought it was something good. But no, Barry decides to be an idiot and decides to distance himself from Patty because he's afraid that if she did know about the Flash, then it would create a whole slew of problems. But would it really matter that much? No, it doesn't, because if Barry had any guts, he would tell Patty who he is and ensure that he would be there for her no matter what. But what we get is something that's anything but, and I feel personally 100% disappointed about it. That was one of the things I didn't like about the episode, because the relationship sort of went down. It crashed hard. It really did crash. Though I only wish that they could get back together, but who knows? I'm lowering my expectations of it. I really am lowering my expectations. So, next up on the plot is the West family. And the West family, unfortunately, it kind of got rocky. Especially for some odd reason, Wally West decides to be a troublemaker. Yeah, there was a scene in the episode where Wally was drag racing, and when Joe found out about it, Wally was like all being a jerk to him. But at the same time, you can't blame Joe West for it because he didn't want to be a dad overnight. He already found out that he has a son, and it shocked him. And I can't blame him if he's trying, but the problem is that Wally West is becoming more like a jerk to him. He went from being a jerk in one scene to just being hopeful in the next. I mean, what the heck? What the heck with the swerve? He pulled a swerve. And yeah, it was alright, but not as much. It just didn't felt satisfy me. The West family drama was not much. It wasn't that good. And it didn't help that Wally's characterization didn't help me either. And it makes me wonder that if Wally would end up being a Flash, my standards for that got low. Very low. And last but not least is the plot regarding this week's villain, the Turtle. And yes, the Turtle was in fact a villain of the Flashverse. Here in this case, the turtle was unsatisfying. He was just a lousy villain. I'm being harsh on this because, yes, I like the ability that he had the power to slow down time around him, and it made things really challenging for Barry because it made him look that he was fast, but in reality, to everybody else, it isn't. It's similar to how Dio Brando was able to stop time with his Stand the World. However, in this case, it just slows it down, and if he keeps on enhancing it, he could stop time completely. Although I do find his motivation to be kind of cliche, basically having his wife be like a collectible. Yeah, he is a thief and all that, but I swear, I wish they could have developed the turtle more to actually be a real threat. He wasn't that threatening. All he just did is slow down time so he can steal stuff. I mean, why? I mean, come on. It just felt kind of bad. The episode was just bad, and the villain was just lousy. The villain was lousy. I'm going to admit it. It was lousy. But I am going to cut this episode a bit of slack because there was some action and some humor. Especially the fact that, like, with Cisco made fun of the whole thing that everyone knows about the supervillain except Barry. It was kind of funny, but he also made some nods to stuff. We also do get some interesting stuff regarding Earth 2 Wells, like the relationship between Earth 2 Wells and Cisco. I feel they're building, but Wells is still, like, the same person we always know. However, with what happened at the mid-season finale with him working with Zoom to steal Barry's speed, it's only a matter of time, and if everyone finds out, it's gonna be trouble. It was also nice to see Jay again, and I like how Jay's relationship with Caitlyn is improving. It's kind of nice. It really is kind of nice. However, everything else just fell flat, and I'm not saying this because I'm too generous with this episode, but this episode just went down. There were so many things that I found wrong with it. It is not funny. Truthfully, the episode was just bad. It's not that bad, but it isn't that great either, and these flaws kind of ruined it. However, there were some bits that were good, like the action, the humor, especially with Wells' motivations. Yes, Wells wants to stop Zoom, and if he's willing to do whatever it takes to do so, he would. I mean that. He would. So, that's all I'm going to say about this review. If I'm to rate this, I'm going to give this a 6. Rather, screw it. I'm giving it a 7 out of 10. I mean it. My score for this episode is a 7 out of 10. It's not that bad, but it isn't that great. There were a lot of things that held the episode back, and it didn't help that they just pushed bogged it down. I mean, I swear, if this is how it's going to be for the rest of the season, then my expectations for it would be quite lower. I really mean that. However, that's not going to be the case because next week's episode is going to be huge. It's going to be absolutely huge with the return of a villain I never thought we'd see. Yes, next week, the return of Eobor Thawne, the Reverse Flash. I am so excited. Yeah, that's it for my episode review of this week's episode. I apologize if it was not like my other reviews, and I also apologize for the fact that I was sputtering throughout most of the commentary for this review. Like I said, this episode wasn't that great, and if this was how they would start off the second half, it's only a matter of time before it does get worse. But I'm hoping that it gets better for the rest of the season. I really do, because there's so many good things that I look forward to, especially with the trailers that showed them arriving at Earth 2, and the fact of new villains. It's going to be awesome. I mean it. So I want to know, what do you guys think of the episode? If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit the like button. And if you have your own thoughts on the episode, like I did, please let me know in the comments what you think. Like I said, I had to be a bit harsh on it, but hey, if you have your own opinion, don't worry. I will respect it, no matter what. You are free to disagree with me. Alright, that's it. Thanks for watching. See you next week for when we bear witness to the return of the Reverse Flash. Peace out.